All right, welcome back. And so I went to go see Annihilation instead of Black Panther because this was a movie that probably had a chance of actually impressing me versus Black Panther. So I went into this movie completely cold. Like I had read no reviews. I had seen no trailers for it. This really did pop up out of nowhere. The most I read about it was like just a quick synopsis on the movie theater website. So I saw that this was made by Alex Garland. This is the same guy behind Ex Machina or Ex Machina, however you're supposed to pronounce
You're
that.
going to be the only person who pronounces it that way.
Well, I don't know. I think that's how it was supposed to be pronounced because Ex Machina might mean something different. So I don't know.
Interpretation.
Yeah, but so anyways. That immediately piqued my interest for seeing this, and if you are going to see this movie, I recommend going into it cold because it's really good, and it that's definitely the best way to watch it. So I would say stop watching this review and just go see it. Okay, now to get into a little bit more detail, I don't want to give away much about this movie still. I really don't. Mostly for you, because honestly, I think you should see it eventually.
I do. I will admit though, I will not mind at all if there are spoilers given.
Okay, well, let's just say the best way I can describe this movie, non-spoiler, is like Arrival meets The Lost City of Zed.
Never saw that.
You probably should, because that's also a really good movie.
How old is it?
It's not from last year.
Oh, wow. What the hell? Why did I not hear of this?
I don't know.
Anyway.
Okay, so this is definitely a sci-fi movie in the truest sense. It's based on a book which I have not read, but it's written for the screen by Alex Garland, and I think actually he did a very good job. It's a sci-fi movie that definitely focuses more on the intriguing aspects of its setting and the world it creates, more so than the characters. Now, it's not to say the characters are bad. Natalie Portman in here plays kind of your typical strong female character. She's a biologist and with previous military training, but they don't overplay it. They don't make her so overpowered or ridiculously smart in an attempt to create, strong female characters. No, she's a lot more realistically portrayed, and actually she's not any more smart or skilled than anyone else on her team. And her team is comprised up of all female scientists. There's a physicist, let's see, I forget what the other two are. Oh, and a psychologist. Now, if this movie actually got some more traction, I'd imagine some people would get all pissy about how, it's all girls, it's all like feminism and blah blah. Okay, seriously, fuck off.
That's what you would be saying if...
That's what I would be saying?
Depending... If this movie had taken either a different tone or had just the slightest bit of different writing, that's what a possible reaction of it could have been. That's what I'm picking up off of it.
From me?
Yeah.
I don't care if characters are girls or guys, because good characters are pretty universal. That's what I was trying to get at. I was saying if this movie gained more traction, people online, as they would do, would get pissy about it.
Even though we do participate online, we don't want to sound pretentious and be like, oh, we don't associate with everybody online, just the smart people. But we are sane, level-headed individuals, we'd like to think, at least.
Well, I think the all-female team makes, at least being a deliberate design choice, just like men, how we act a little bit differently when there's no women present. Women act a little bit differently when there's no men present.
Very true.
So, and what results in it is actually, for once, a team that's really... God, sorry, someone's got their brights on and are blinding me right now.
No worries, though. And it looks like they're...
No, they're not done yet.
Hi! We see you too. You like to use technology like we do. Here's
I can't see anything right now. It's that bright.
Bye-bye. You have a crappy truck, but you have nice headlights.
Okay.
Bye-bye, douche.
Hang on a sec. All right. What was I saying? Oh yeah.
We were talking about feminism and how this movie doesn't need to stoop to girl power and just have strong female people.
Well, it does. Well, it does have strong female characters, but it's not, like I said, it's done well. It's not overplayed. It's not done to an asinine degree. All these characters are, realistically skilled in their respective areas. And what the nice thing about Natalie Portman is, despite her being the main character, she doesn't so far above these characters that there's no point in them being here.
Superseding.
Yeah, she's, there's an actual sense of camaraderie and synergy in this team, which is a very nice change of pace. And like I said, the fact that it's all women with no men present, they actually take advantage of it because obviously women do act differently when there is no men present, the same way men act differently when there's no women present. So, for me, it works. The characters themselves, like I said, are nothing astounding. The most we get about them is that they all have something broken about them. One cuts herself. Another, comes from another one. I think another one has cancer, and she's supposedly going to be dying soon. So, again, to get into this premise, this is again slightly spoilers because the fun. I just want to make this clear: the fun of this movie, the really enjoyable bits, the parts that really suck you in, is the fact that you don't know what's going on, and it is very slowly unfolding itself in front of you.
Like Blade Runner, be as vague as possible.
Okay, so there is this thing on the world, in the world, this secluded area surrounded by like what looks like a giant wall of melting rainbow glass.
That sounds delicious.
It's they call it the Shimmer. And it's been on Earth for a few years, and it is slowly growing more and more. They don't know what the hell it is. Could be religious, could be alien, could be some kind of natural phenomenon. They don't know. They've sent expedition after expedition in there, and nobody's ever come out. So Natalie Portman is, I won't say under what, but under circumstances, is brought into the fray, and her and a team go in and try to figure it out. What happens in there? Again, I didn't know what the hell I was expecting in there, but let's just say it's interesting. This movie is equal parts intriguing and foreboding. Like, there are some very creepy aspects to it. There are some like actually genuinely shocking moments and parts that actually have had me tense up. Like Blade Runner and like Arrival, it's a slow burn. People are gonna watch it and they're gonna criticize it for being too slow. Nothing's happening. Oh, it's so boring. But
a lot of the times you underestimate audiences' capabilities.
Well, but seriously, people do. I mean, hell, Blade Runner got the same shit.
Depends on who you talk to.
I know it depends on who I talk to, but God, do I die a little bit inside when the first comment I read on the Blu-ray page on Amazon is, "This movie is the cure for insomnia."
That's a little bit out there.
Yeah.
Well, that person is a little bit out there.
Yeah. Well, okay. So yeah, this movie in the same vein. It's slow, but it's very atmosphere heavy. It's very tense. It makes you feel the moments. It really immerses you in this environment. And like I said, the characters may not necessarily be astounding, but they're enjoyable enough to where you actually do care about them. You're actually, concerned. They're in a very dire situation, and so that helps keep you engaged as the movie continues to go on and on. And like I said, there are parts in here that are very interesting and parts that are also very very creepy. Like, I mean, actually, it reaches almost horror movie levels of creepy at times. But it's in spurts though. It's not, that doesn't keep it for the whole thing. There's even parts that I actually think, wow, it looks very pretty. So this movie does go to a lot of places, and like any good science fiction movie, it keeps you guessing, keeps you thinking. And the ending of the movie is both parts good, but there is a bad aspect to it, and it's a lot of people are gonna hate the ending because it leaves a lot of things unanswered. I like the fact that things go unanswered because then it lingers. You know, it is designed to make you think. It's designed to stick in your brain and for you to question certain things and to get you talking and discussing. And I like that. There's other things, but not that it's a lazy ending. It's not a lazy ending to where they just say, well, I don't know, think for yourself. There's enough there to go on to get you to actually get the ball rolling and to get you thinking. However, the climax, for everything that's happened, for all the mystery and all the intrigue and all the vagueness surrounding what's going on here, the climax and the resolution is very simplistic and straightforward. And I think it's the one thing of this movie that it's like, really? It almost, I don't want to say it's a cop-out, but considering how good everything else was and to how just plain it ends up being, I don't know. That's just, for me, I don't know. The funny thing is, Alex Garland is no stranger to controversial endings, like Ex Machina.
Never saw it.
You never saw it, but what most people talk about is the very controversial ending. And
okay.
I would be lying if I didn't say that, yes, that ending really did stick with me, and I don't know whether I liked it or not. So, same with this one. And all that being said, too, the very last frame of this movie, like the last part before it goes black into credits, is a holy shit, what the fuck kind of shocker.
God damn it. So what you're saying is I would have liked this movie a hell of a lot better than Black Panther.
I think you would have. You might have. I can't say for certain, but I honestly do say it is worth checking out. If you like science fiction in the same vein of like Blade Runner, Arrival, or Alex Garland's previous work, I think you would really like this. And I do wish this movie came out at the wrong time. Obviously, it's completely overshadowed by Black Panther, but it really does deserve a lot of traction. This is when I was talking about last year about supporting movies that I want to see more of, this was one of them.
And luckily, it's coming out at a time of year where the scene is usually... Okay, the Hollywood scene has changed a bit within, like, the first few months of the year. Usually we're subjected to shitty horror movies or just, like, half-assed projects that weren't able to be released in the year previous. But now I guess with the success of Deadpool, there did show that there is a huge singular market for like good stuff that comes out early in the year, and you don't have to subject to watching all the good shit at the end of the year. This does show that good movies can be made throughout the entire year. And Black Panther is not an example of that because it's a comic book movie, and unfortunately that has reached the like franchise obligatory heights of other previous genre films used to have. But yeah, this one, God damn it, I wish I had seen it. Because you know that I really liked Arrival, and just how it was a science fiction movie that took its audience and it took its subject matter, seemingly simple subject matter, seriously. So from what I pick up off of this is that with the like approach of Arrival, but with the slow, not bad slow, but just suspenseful slow, tense, environment building, and just being able, and maximum engrossment. Again, one of the properties of Blade Runner. Although, would you say this has a bit more of an action edge to it?
Honestly, it has about as much action as Blade Runner did.
Okay, but at least they also knew how to be smart with their action.
Right.
Smart with the action.
Yeah, it doesn't like throw in an action scene every now and again to keep the audience engaged, or like it only throws it in when it makes sense. and what happens again. It plays into that really kind of creepy aspect of this setting, and keeps you guessing like what the fuck is going on. So.
Although similar to Arrival, are they basically searching for an anomaly? They're going into an anomaly. Yes. That questions everything that they do, that questions everything they know, and questions like past decisions, possible futures, and what you're experiencing right now.
Oh, not like that.
Okay. Well, nothing to do with time or narrative, but again, it's an anomaly.
The narrative is told in a slightly non-linear fashion.
Okay.
Slightly, not like constantly bouncing around the place, but I mean the way it's. I just want to say the way that it starts off. It's a very cold opening because you're just like, what the fuck is going on, and then the plot goes for a period of time, and then it finally starts to, you gain some traction. You start to figure out, okay, this is what's happening.
Yeah, that was sort of like Black Panther too, in that it just gave you the base info, like filler or necessary info, but then halfway through it kicks into gear.
Yeah.
All right.
So overall, I quite liked Annihilation, and I recommend it. I don't give it a high recommendation. I'm not gonna say it again. Not gonna overhype this movie, but I'm just gonna say But
you can say you really liked it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm always searching for these sort of different science fiction. Actually, I'm looking more for science fiction movies that feel genuine. That feel like,
yeah,
that go more for that intriguing world building or like, philosophy type stuff. That's what I like to see more of. We don't get much of that nowadays.
Stuff that brings up questions.
Yeah.
But logical questions that transcend, instead of questions about what's happening in the world.
Stuff that's not afraid to make you think.
Yes, absolutely.
So, in that regard, if that interests you, check this out.
I really want to check it out. I wish I checked it out, because everybody loves their comic book movies and their like slash form of fantasy elements. I sort of like sci-fi better, because
this is like fantasy to a degree, but not like, I mean, science fiction and fantasy do kind of blend together at some point, but I guess the thing is for me is that I'm just burnt out of comic book movies in general, so I'm always on the hunt for something different, and thankfully this movie provided just that.
Absolutely. Well, now this is just gonna be, from now on, it's just gonna be a list of movies that you need to show me that you actually like, that I probably will like better.
Well, maybe, I don't know. Well, we'll see. Maybe. God forbid the time when it's gonna be come down between seeing a Marvel movie or seeing a god awful movie, and I'll come in being like, you know what? Maybe Marvel just ain't that bad.
No, imagine if you saw a Marvel movie after seeing like Kidnap or the Emoji Movie.
Oh God, I'd be like, you were right. You guys were right all along. Marvel is the best, greatest movies ever.
Yeah. Although, from Alex Garland's track record, this could show that he has like as good of a startup reputation as someone like Ryan Coogler, the director that I just mentioned earlier.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna relate to what's his name, the guy behind Blade Runner and
No, not Denis Villeneuve. Yeah, Villeneuve, yeah.
Okay.
He's French Canadian, not Spanish.
Mm-hmm. And let's see, who's the other guy I was thinking of? Fuck, I forget. It's the same guy behind Wind River, Sicario, and Hell or High Water.
Taylor Sheridan?
Yes, Taylor Sheridan.
Okay. Well,
we're on our way to finding some really good talent. I really hope these people keep making movies.
Just shows that shows the grit and hard work that the indie film genre can get you.
Mm-hmm.
Credibility, but also future talent and box office worthiness.
Yep.
And good praise. God forbid we get big movies with good praise that aren't Marvel movies. Fuck it.
So, well, that's it for us tonight.
I'm gonna watch the Oscars tomorrow night.
I'll just read who won what the next day.
You're not too big a fan of the Oscars?
Not anymore.
Why would that be?
Because it gets okay. The Oscar show itself isn't very entertaining to me.
Plus, it's also 4 to 5 fucking hours long.
Yeah, so I think it's just easier if I watch if I look at a list and go, oh man, I think that movie should have won.
I know too much about the Oscars history to like not be engrossed in what future awards come. Mm-hmm. So I just want to be able to know what wins Best Picture, so I can just add it on to the number of Best Pictures that I.
Boss Baby.
Fucking
Boss Baby.
Nominated for Best Animated Film.
You know, and why? Okay, actually, I know why. Red Turtle. Technically came out in 2016, not 17, in foreign country, in its country of origin, where it only made its way to the U.S. in 2017. So,
and that's not going to do you any better service for DreamWorks, right?
No, not at all.
But hey,
I've seen that stupid trailer for Romeo and Juliet, but you know what shocked me the most? What? They're making 2 No movies.
Oh, Hollywood is strange. But I'm just tuning in to see who wins the big 5. The best leads, best director, best script, and best picture. Which, I know every single Best Picture Oscar winner from 1950 until today. Mm-hmm. And you've tested me on this before. Yep. Just throw out a year.
2006.
2006. That one of your favorites. The Departed.
That won Best Picture?
Yeah, it did. And okay. Martin Scorsese's only Oscar for director.
Okay.
What's another one?
1996.
1996 was The English Patient. That beat out Fargo.
Okay.
How do you feel about that? English Patient.
There's a nice little article on IGN that talks about like some of the best movies ever made that never won an Oscar.
Yep, there are many of them. English Patient is the perfect example of an artsy film that catches them, but everybody disagrees with. Yeah. So you're not alone in that. Not everybody agrees with the Oscars. One more year.
Well, what was the year that No Country for Old Men won?
2007.
Okay, well, I absolutely agree with that. That's one of the best movies ever made.
One more year. Have it be way, 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 way back.
Okay, 1946.
I don't remember that far. 1950.
Okay, fine, 1950.
Ooh, shit. Okay, it's not from here.
You could just name any movie and I'd be like, oh, okay, cool.
No, damn it. Fuck, I forgot it. Shit. I hate being put on the spot. It's all the Kingsmen.
You were the one who...
I know. Damn it. 1959 was Ben-Hur. 1958 was Gigi. 1957 was Bridge on the River Kwai. Further back is Around the World in 80 Days, Marty, On the Waterfront, From Here to Eternity, High Noon... damn it. Okay, I shot myself in the ass. Oh. I can't remember 51 and 50 now. Okay. Oh, no, 1950 is All About Eve.
Okay,
I got it. 1950, All About Eve. Yes.
All right, cool. You feel better now?
Yes.
All right.
I do.
Okay, cool. Well, we'll see you guys.
Later.